let's finish our dragon story today. Or we may finish it, we may not finish it, but we're going to talk about it. Here we go. So, get you caught up. The first part of it said, Pop! Clancy the dragon was chomping his teeth. He had a terrible toothache. It put him in a bad mood. And suddenly he heard a knocking on the door. It was a knight. The knight said, I'm looking for a dragon to slay. May I slay you? Clancy roared a terrible, loud, earth-shattering roar. The knight shivered in his clanky armor. I guess that's a no, he asked politely. So, for our story, you start out, you introduce your characters. So we have Clancy, we have the knight. Then the characters have a problem. Then the problem gets worse and worse and worse until you figure out how to solve the problem. So I kind of had an idea just now. I wrote the first part of my story in pencil, the second part in pen. I'm going to do the next part with a marker so that we can just kind of see the different parts as it goes. So we introduced our character and our problem. The problem got worse right here. And the knight also is having a problem because Clancy is roaring at him. So now they're both having problems and they don't know what to do. So we have to continue making our problem even worse. So we introduced our characters, our problem. Problem got worse. We're going to make it even worse. We're going to see how far we can go before we decide to end it. Remember, your goal is to keep your readers sitting on the edge of their seats. Okay, so the knight asked if it was a no. Clancy was too busy chomping his sore tooth to respond. The knight took a teeny step forward. He put away his sword. Excuse me. He tapped Clancy's scaly tail. He tapped it softly because he's kind of scared of Clancy, so he just barely tapped it. All right, so that's the next part of our story. I know this is a long story. So it says, Clancy was too busy chomping his sore tooth to respond. The knight took a teeny step forward and he put away his sword. Excuse me, he tapped Clancy's scaly tail softly. So we're about to find out a solution to the problem, to Clancy's problem because Clancy has a toothache, and to the knight's problem because he has to slay a dragon to be a knight. So we are about to find out the solution to both of their problems. So you guys be thinking of one at home. I'm thinking of one here. This week, you don't have to write in your journals if you don't want to. You can totally do it if you want, have some free writes. But all this week, I'm showing you how to build a story, because starting next week, we're going to work on building our own stories. And we're going to be turning some of you guys into authors who would like to share your stories. So stay tuned for that. Be thinking about how to help Clancy in the night.